we want to look at the peace of God from the Hebrew, because this is, I always think we should take everything back to the Hebrew, because the Hebrew was the purest expression of who God is in written form and the purest expression of what he has come to give us. Well, in the Hebrew language, as you've heard me say so many times, one of the ways that you dig into the Hebrew language is you go down to the root word, which always has three letters, and it's always a verb, which means it's always something to be put into application, not dead works, but put into application. If you're not putting it into practice, if you're not applying it, then the real truth is it has no benefit in your life. And so the root word is always a verb, and each letter in any Hebrew word has its own particular definition. And so you look at the letters, particularly the root word, you can go much farther than this. I'm just scratching the surface here. And you can understand things about that particular Hebrew word that you can't get just by getting the translation that you get, a one-word translation that you get that fits into the context of how the words are being used. The three Hebrew letters in the root word for peace is shin, lamed, mem. Now, the letter shin represents teeth, or it can represent fire. Either one of those, teeth or fire, represents something being completely destroyed, completely. When you chew something up until you chew it up enough to where it's broken down to such a small state that it can be absorbed into your body, it can be digested, and it can then become a part of who you are. Or even if you look at it as fire, you realize that fire can totally consume something so that all you have left are ashes. So that's the first letter. The second letter, the lamed, is a rod or staff, a rod primarily, that a shepherd would carry. And of course, this rod always represents authority or the source or that sort of thing. Now, the letter mem, represents water. And water has, by the way, there's much more to the definition of these words than I'm telling you. I'm just kind of bringing in what we need, and we can fit in this time frame. The word mem, even though it represents water, can be pointing to chaos. So when you look at these three Hebrew letters, shin would be the ultimate destruction, lamed, authority. So it's the ultimate destruction of any authority, or you could say of the source, the mem of chaos. So the peace of God is not just a tranquility that says, okay, we're going to stop fighting for a day or two. No, the peace of God destroys the source of all of the chaos. Now, that doesn't mean we go out and fight against the people who are bringing the chaos.